Last week, Ian and I went down to Nexon America to check out a variety of games, including their newest, Dragon Nest. You know, as a new game, there's a lot to learn, so why don't you click on one of these links to find out about some of the amazing things that they've got planned for their newest MMO. All right, guys. Ian and I are here with Davey and Chris from Nexon America, and we're talking about Dragon Nest, one of the new games that they've got coming out. And Ian and I just played it. Ian, what'd you think?
I really like it so far. You guys have a really cool product on your hands, and I'm really looking forward to playing some more. Even though we got some dungeons in, and you get to see some cool stuff with the classes and specialization. Yeah.
Okay, well, Dragon Nest is a online action RPG that is set in a fantasy world. It's got console quality, fast-paced action, and it's it's very polished. It's got beautiful graphics, and it's got all the social features that you would expect from your typical MMORPG.
Yeah, just to add a little bit to what Davey was saying, we like to say that it's a lightning-fast action MMO. I mean, as you guys saw when you were playing it, it plays a lot faster than what people usually expect from MMOs. But then on top of that, it's got this very aesthetically pleasing art style. And we think that with that art style, as well as the fact that it's very sort of console-friendly in the way it controls, we think that's really going to bring in a new audience. Some of maybe the more casual people who aren't as used to the MMO genre. But then when you get to playing it, it's very satisfying for the core players. So we think it kind of has a little bit of stuff for both of those audiences. One way that it really stands out is you can have these very intense, short play sessions, sort of bite-sized moments, but also I think aesthetically it stands out. I mean, it has a very specific, stylized look, and then the way it controls. I mean, like we've mentioned, it's first of all action-based. You're not having, you don't just click and let the enemy fall down. You have to be able to aim, and you have to have skills, and you rack up combos, almost like a fighting game in that sense. And you have a reticle similar to like an FPS game, and for example, if you're playing as an archer, it almost plays like an FPS, especially if you're using a controller,
Yeah, I found, and Ian, you can sort of elaborate this as well because you played the archer, but I found that it played a lot like an action game as well. I mean, you have to dodge and you have to aim, and it's a very whimsical, beautiful visual style, but the action of the game is a lot more, it's not what you expect from that visual style.
So yeah, the combo system it's very dynamic. Basically, you have a bunch of active and passive skills that you can use in succession to perform the highest combo that you can. And I mean, if you're really very hardcore about this type of stuff, you can also be very critical about the timing, the way that you use your skills in sequence.
What's the highest combo hit combo you've been able to achieve so far?
Well, I'm no expert. So actually, with the archer, I was getting some really high ones, though. I think I had some that were like in the 60s or so. Wow. I mean, I was playing it on Friday as the archer, and I was really racking them up during one session. That was the best, though, by far, that I've done on any of them.
Yeah, well, I've definitely reached over 100. I mean, there's definitely areas where if you set the difficulty higher in those dungeons, you'll have like hordes of enemies that come at you, and then so you just take one swipe, and right there you get like 8 to 10 combos, and then you continue with your combos. You get tons of combos.
Well, first I'd like to talk a little bit about the levels that you guys got to see.
Oh, sure.
Basically, what those were about is there's a prophetess named Rose, and there's this evil, malignant guy who's trying to take her and kidnap her and use her powers for his own purposes. And I don't want to give away too much, but I think that has something to do with dragons. Just saying. I mean,
It's not called Kitten Nest.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Although that might be an interesting take on it, right? Right, that's our sequel.
Great. I'm looking forward to that game. Okay. As much as this game is really good.
Yeah, if I may talk about the background story a little more, before the players actually go in the game, basically there were fights, a big clash between the evil and good dragons, and what happens is those dragons, they pretty much exploded, and like little pieces of evilness got spread in the world. And so what happened is like all the beings in the world are trying to either hide those pieces from spreading corruption or trying to get their hands on. But then even if they get their hands on those pieces to get dragon powers, they still need a key to unlock that power, and this is where Rose comes in. And then that's where the player starts. His goal is to, protect Rose and make sure that no evil hands get a hold of those dragon lusters, is what they're called.
Dragon lusters. What do you have the option to become a dragon luster in the game?
Well, I shouldn't reveal too much.
Oh, I like the sound of that a lot.
I think that the story also, as Davey was saying to you guys downstairs when you were playing, I mean, one thing that is really cool is, like, yes, it's this big epic story, but our localization team did a great job of interjecting little pieces of humor and things in the quests, so that, you still, because a lot of MMO players, they're like, whatever, I just want to go kill my, go kill my 10 rats or whatever. But with this, I think you're, really gonna want to read through the quests and kind of, dive right in there and immerse yourself in that world.
So yeah, you can go back to the dungeons that you've previously visited, and there's 5 difficulty levels. So the first level is single player. I mean, you can just go by yourself. It's really easy. But then it progressively gets more difficult, and then you'll have to bring your party in. Like the highest difficulty is called Abyss, and it's got a dreary, dark feeling to it, and like the monsters are really powerful in there. And so. Let's say maybe when you were younger, lower level, and then they wiped the floor with you. You could come back levels later and then show them who's the boss.
It's huge. I mean, you got to take a look at the map,
It's pretty vast. And there's stuff that's not even there yet. It looks like you guys are planning a bunch of cool stuff for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot up our sleeves, and even from what you saw of that map, there's also a lot of variety in the world. So it's we're not just recycling the same dungeons over and over.
There's definitely several villages or hubs where players can hang out and socialize, and these all have different quests and different quest line that you can follow through. And then as we release the game and as we go through all the updates, I mean, more and more areas will be opened up with more quests and more content to go through. Well, right now it's level. Well, for the closed beta, we'll have up to level 16, and then once we'll go in open beta, we'll go up to level 24. I can't wait to play it either. I mean, or to release it. We're targeting for later this summer, and I mean, we're trying our best to bring this awesome polished game to our players.
And to me.
And to you.
Beautiful. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We're really looking forward to it, and we'll see you at E3. Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks.
You get to play some PvP at E3.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Man.
I'm gonna destroy Ian.
I think that we should have a wager right now. Which one of you is gonna? So what's the loser gonna do?
Okay, the loser. You wanna go to Frappy Hour? Frappuccino? Frappy Hour
I
bet?
guess that's what we're gonna have to do. I guess that sounds good to me.
The stakes are high. Caffeinated afternoon.
Try really hard. I'm Machinima Realm. It's okay.
Also, you'll owe me $100. Yeah.
That's not what I.
No, the bet is done.
No. No. Thanks, guys.
Your nano suit is powered and active. Jump into the next evolution of war with the new Crysis 2 badges. Join the Respawn army today. Sync your My Crysis ID and engage in the fight. This is your war. This is your opportunity. Prove your prestige today and earn your badges.